Hello YouTube, here we are. Good morning. We have ourselves a start to another beautiful day. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, of course, the last couple of days have been a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, so that kind of equals out to no vlogs. It's the way it works sometimes, right? I can only multitask for so long before I get bogged down, and I find that if I spread myself too thin, I end up having trouble. So if I can narrow my focus on certain things, then they seem to work a little bit better, or easier, right? So pretty much stepped back from YouTube for a couple of days, or well, filming content for a couple of days, focused on what needed to been focused on, and got her all done. Got a little bit of a victory on some stuff that was going on, as well as, well, I need to make a couple of phone calls in the next couple of days anyway, or maybe early next week, to some fabrication shops around town, and see how well that works out. I could probably try to tackle the bulk of it myself. However, at the same time, again, a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes it's easier to pay it done than it is to try to do it yourself and end up taking 6-8 months to do it, right? So of course I got some plans drawn up how I would like a certain item to be fabricated. I will leave it in the fabricator's hands to give their own artistic flair or spin, however you want to call it, on the item. I know what I'm looking for, and I'm sure they can do it, because I've seen some of their work in the past, and their work in the past is, well, excellent. Well, of course, today I need to shoot a couple of videos. One of them is an update video. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a different style update video. Same basic concept, just a little bit of a voiceover. So I'm going to end up shooting footage and then running it through the editor and combining the voiceover clip and then getting her done. Well, with the warm weather, the snow has basically all disappeared out of my yard. There may be a tiny ice patch in the front yard, but a lot of it's gone, which then leaves behind yard work to do and stuff like that, which, hey, it's the way she is, right? Get rid of some of the junk, get rid of some of the cardboard, and before you know it, the grass will start to grow, and, well, we're back to spring here, back to summer. It's hard to believe that we're already mid-April, and where does time go, right? It seems to just fly on by, and before you know it, it's passed you by. Well, it's been, whatever, 4 or 5 days since I got the truck ran through the shop to have a look at it for the so-called serious potential buyer. I didn't waste my money in terms of wasting it. However, there was no reason for me to have it so-called inspected, because the buyer obviously wasn't serious at all. It's not a total waste, because it allows me to know that my truck is in like 99% mechanical good shape, other than, the windshield and the wiper arm squirter hoses and a couple of small things that really don't matter in the long run, because, well, it's my truck, right? I maybe should have made the so-called serious buyer pay me to run it through the shop. However, what potential buyer or serious buyer is going to pay for an inspection on a truck that's not theirs? But it is what it is, right? Given the way the oil patch situation is right now, there probably won't be a lot of people out there that'll want to buy a truck like that. So if I sit on it for another year or 6-8 months when the patch picks up a little more, there could be people out there looking for their rig rocket to get back and forth until they get back on their feet. And then unfortunately a truck like that will be what they will take until they get their brand new Super Duty diesel that they had repoed a few months earlier. Like I said there in the previous vlog, you know, it is what it is, right? Maybe this surgery will be the answer to do what I needed to do. Maybe it'll fix what needs to be fixed and I can get some driving out of the truck. There really is nothing wrong with the truck in terms of wrong with it. It's an old Chevy. Like all old Chevys, they have certain little problems. If you have the patience to tinker and the patience to work on them, then you'll have no problems at all. We'll work things through and see what happens in the future with that there truck. Well, currently I'm uploading a new Maxwell's Mind episode. Didn't get a chance to go out and film road footage like I usually do for it and then do my voiceover. So I'm just using a generic random road footage that I previously recorded and going to put it through, and it'll be what it is. Sometimes things sneak up on you, and if you don't do it immediately, then they get left behind. Sometimes, you know, you're a single person running essentially 3 to 4 YouTube channels, and well, it tends to slip on away or sneak up on you. You try to have a bit of a personal life as well as your YouTube, you know, balancing all the channels, all the videos, all that stuff, and sometimes things have to give. You know, you have off days where you don't feel like touching the camera, and other days where you're busy playing phone tag with people that really don't want to talk to you, and before you know it, it's passed you on by. Well, we'll have to see what today unfolds. Like I said, I want to do some garbage pickup in the yard before it gets too warm. Yesterday it was plus 18 Celsius out, believe it or not, 18. Today they're saying it could be plus 9, so a little bit of a changeover, but for me it feels really, really hot. So if I get out here in the morning and do my garbage pickup like I want to do, get the bulk of it done before the so-called heat of the day, then maybe do a cleanup in the shop for the heat of the day, and then before you know it, yeah, well, it'll be time to shut her on down. Got a couple more appointments coming up in a few more days, and then there'll be the big road trip to the city coming up in another week or two, so hopefully we can get things squared away for that and play her by ear and see how it goes. But pretty much, guys, you guessed her, gonna go in, have my breakfast and make me my coffee, get on with my day. Hopefully, if everything goes well, next time I do a check-in, we've made some progress. So yeah, you guessed her. See y'all then. Little bit of later morning update. Well, of course, went out, did some running around, picked up a couple of things, paid some bills, and all that good stuff. While I was out, I decided to check the fan mail box, pick up the normal junk mail, flyers, you know, death threats, all that good stuff. And, well, I got me my second fan mail letter, which is, well, pretty sweet. This one here comes all the way from the Americas and is from Steampunk Okie. So it'd be interesting to open her on up and see what's inside. It's kind of weird how, you know, you open something to be used for fan mail, but when you're a smaller YouTuber, sometimes the fan mail doesn't come rolling in as often as you want it to. You know, you have your normal packages that you order online and things that you order yourself that comes to that address, but the fan mail is a little bit on the quiet side. So it's kind of nice, you know, when I receive a letter, I'm going to open her up and see what it is. I noticed there's no zip code or postal code on there, so maybe I can do some digging or look up on the YouTube. Maybe there's a YouTube channel or Twitter or something that I can, if they want, get a return address to send a decal and a letter back to. But So of course I stopped by the old Princess Auto, checked out some goodies with an upcoming project coming up, just pricing out some of the things that I'll need for that project. If it goes through the way I want it to, I'll have to pick up a couple of things. Some of it is due to safety or security, you know, to make sure it doesn't roll away or anything. And some of it's just because I want to make sure that everything's good and comfortable when I am using it. So, of course, after I did a run through there, pretty much came on home. Gonna sort through my pile of junk mail, open up this fan mail letter, babysit my upload, and see where the day goes from there. I'm already starting to feel the heat, so maybe I've missed my opportunity to, well, do some yard cleanup, but I guess we'll have to see how that one goes. So of course, gonna go inside, have a beverage or two, and see y'all later. Little bit of early evening update. Well, of course, the day was a good day, so far anyway. I was able to get out here and do a little bit of yard cleanup. You really can't notice what I did by far. However, I got a whole very, very large contractor bag full of garbage out of my yard. A lot of it had to do with newspaper and various other things that had blown in. My paper carrier has an issue, or a problem anyway, with learning what is in, on, and under, and on the ground when it comes to newspaper. I have witnessed myself firsthand him or them put the paper on the hooks and then take about 3 steps and it falls out of the hooks, and they hear it because they turn and look, but they keep walking. And then of course, if that happens when I'm not home, then it blows all over the yard, down the street, you know, and it makes a mess. It's kind of funny that there was a stop order for delivery of papers on this house for years. However, just recently in the last year or so, year and a half, they started delivering off and on again. Never on a steady, regular time, but just enough to be a pain, especially if I'm not here to pick the paper up at that moment exactly. Most of the time I go out and get my own Princess Auto flyer from the mailbox anyway, the community box, so it doesn't really matter whether I get a paper or not. And like a lot of us, when we want a paper or flyers, we go online to do it. So really, it's like, why do you bother delivering this paper that just goes in the recycle bin? Surely there's another house on the route that wants it, or surely you could cut back on production costs by not printing an overabundance amount. But hey, I guess it is what it is, right? It'd be nice if they turned around and picked up the paper and put it back in the hooks, or if their papers won't fit in the hooks, well then use elastic bands to hold them on down so they don't flop all over the place. I know back in the day when I was delivering paper goods and stuff, I used to use elastic bands, and if it was raining, I'd even use a plastic bag to make sure the paper didn't get wet. But I guess, you know, things have changed, right? People aren't quite the same as they used to be, you know, 5-10 years ago, right? Well, of course, you don't really notice much that I did to the yard. However, there is a bit of change. I got a few things that I want to pick up here in the next couple of days. If and when the new project gets underway, I have a use for a couple of the stray water jugs that are around. We'll get them cleaned on up and put to use. It depends on how the situation goes. If the situation works out well, then we'll have ourselves a project. If it happens to work out as a gamble or a chance, then maybe we'll have to make another road trip down there to pick a second one up. But hey, you never know, right? Time will tell, and well, it'll work out exactly how it is meant to work out. You know, you don't sweat the small stuff, and well, it'll work out the way it's going to work out. So this evening, of course, I want to take out the cardboard that I have in the back of the canyon and get rid of it. It'll be the last of the cardboard that was kicking around. I know I probably should dispose of it a little more often throughout the winter or stuff, but hey, it's kind of the way it goes sometimes. And then I was thinking of possibility of doing some more video editing. My sleep schedule has been a little bit messed up, so I've been kind of slacking where I need to be picking things up. And with the days being nicer, you know, I'm going to try to get out more, out in the yard, out doing things, and then hopefully we can, well, get things squared away back where they need to be. It's kind of weird how you allow things to slide even just a little bit, and then all of a sudden they're slid completely out of control over to an area that you had no intentions of ever going there, right? I need to do some figuring on a couple of my outbuildings, especially the smaller shed. Like I mentioned in the update video, that it's become mainly a junk collector. It has outlived the usefulness that it was built for, and really I'm not really in a need for a garden shed because I have a room in my large shed. That was why I built it. So if I thinned off or thinned down on some more garbage and kept the hoard to a minimum, I could either tear this little shed out or sell it, give it away, whatever, you know, buyer would have to move. And maybe we will put grass back in where that come out of. I have kind of a weird idea for a planter box in that corner. Maybe to try to grow some vegetables and things like that. So that space would definitely work for a planter or planter box or boxes. Again, we'll have to play it by ear and see how the future holds on that. Right now the roof's not leaking. It's not showing any signs of rot. It'd be the perfect time to get rid of it, as long as the person that buys it, well, is understanding that they have to move it. It shouldn't be that hard to move. With my yard set up the way it's set up, you should be able to back a truck in up the front driveway at a 45, hook a winch line around the shed, winch it up out of the hole after jacking it up so it's level with the ground, and then spin it and then back a trailer or so up the back driveway and winch it up onto the trailer, and then away she goes. It's kind of one of them things, you know, why throw away or tear down something that's good, but at the same time, why hoard up something that you don't really need to be hoarded on up? But guys, gonna go do a few things, get a couple things going and rolling, and yeah, we'll see how she goes this evening. We come to the end of another day. Well, it was a good day. It was a warm day. We're able to get some things done, which definitely is a plus or a bonus, or, you know, definitely nice. Started on the yard cleanup. Got a long way to go. Starting, of course, behind this year because of last fall, but once I get overcome the winter's worth of garbage, then I can start dealing with last fall's fall cleanup, and then deal with the spring's worth of stuff. We'll have to see how it unfolds. I'm probably, truth be told, going to run out of time before I go for surgery in getting everything done, but at least we can get the majority of it took care of. And whatever is, and whatever doesn't, well then, it'll be what it is. Well, went and checked the fan mail box, and I got myself my second piece of fan mail, which most definitely is appreciated. I'm going to open it on camera here. I just have to get a moment to film it. I was going to do it today, but things kind of snowballed after that, and didn't quite happen. So got rid of that cardboard and a few more things, and before you know it, well, here we are now. It's funny how there just is not enough time in a day. Things tend to sneak up on you, and before you know it, it's well, back to nightfall. you happen to catch a couple hours of sleep, and then it's back to daytime again. Well, they're forecasting rain to hold through till tomorrow. We got a bit of a shower here today, just this evening here. So I'm not sure if that's the tomorrow shower that came early, or if we're going to be in for it a second round tomorrow, but we will cross that one when it gets here. Al gonna post me some free classified ads coming on up, kind of putting me a pile of garbage or stuff that's too good to throw away, but yet I can't keep at the back alley, and post it for free. Come get up, and if they don't come pick it all up or pick it all up at all, then when I do my dump run, it's had its fair shake, its fair chance at rehoming your life, and of course then I guess it goes in the trailer out to the dump. Well, according to posts on social media, the landfill has dried up quite a bit, so it's not nearly as muddy as it was 3-4 weeks ago. So maybe I'll take a run out, empty out the trailer of what I have in there. Then I can maybe start on some of the tree trimming and stuff that needs to be done, and get that hauled away too before my surgery, because well, after surgery, I probably have a 6-week window where won't be much of anything going on, and it'll bite into the best part of the summer, but well, maybe we can get things going before then and push our way through and have a good fall to early part of winter. I know it's weird thinking about fall already, because when it's not even spring, but hey, it'll be here before you know it. It's hard to say. It's hard to say it, but it'll be here before you know it. So a little bit of more cleanup, a little bit of more picking up stuff around the yard here, making some choices on what to keep, what to let go. You have ideas and dreams about projects, and ideas and dreams about yard decor that sometimes just plain doesn't happen. You hang on to something for 3-4 years because you want to use it, and it's unique. It's only the one that you've ever had your chance to buy. And what do? Do you keep it for another 3-4 years, or do you let it go? There's a buyer for everything if you take enough time to find the right buyer. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. You never know. This surgery could be the answer, and maybe I'll excel through the physio program, and then we'll be back in less time than 6 weeks, just in time for fall to get things squared away from there. I've always had a plan, just a matter of holding to it this year, trying to get things to work in our favor, and well, I suppose it'll be how it works out. But pretty much, guys, gonna end her all here. Today was a good day, tomorrow's another one, and around we go. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.